keep trying to find this thing.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Here at Veteran Trash Talk, we actually vet our sponsors. We don't just take their money and run like a Butterbar lieutenant lost on the land nav course. Are you finally ready to plant your flag and claim your territory? Maybe it's time to use that VA loan to buy a home. Or hell, maybe you're looking to refinance and put some extra cash in your pocket for more questionable life decisions. Either way, the Veterans Mortgage Source, powered by Canopy Mortgage, has your six. Look, buying a home or refinancing can feel like getting overrun on a bad op. Chaotic, confusing, and full of obstacles that make no damn sense. That's where Corey and his team come in. They're like the QRF of home loans, ready to pull you out of the chaos and guide you to the best program for you. And trust me, they'll answer all your questions. Yeah, even the dumb ones. Whether you're a salty vet or fresh out of barracks still trying to figure out where your TA-50 went. Great service, solid rates, and a team that actually understands the military life. That's why all of us here at Veteran Trash Talk trust them to do right by every veteran and their family. Ready to lock it in? Give Corey a call or shoot him a text at 808-699-7874. That's 808-699-7874. Don't wait. Unless you like overpaying and getting treated like an FNG. The Veterans Mortgage Source is powered by Canopy Mortgage, LLC. All loans are subject to credit and property approval.
Hey, happy Wednesday. Hope he's having a good Wednesday. And it's Mental Health Warrior today. Hang on one second. I was bringing up my live feed and I was getting playback in my ear, so it was throwing me off some. Hey, Lynn, how you doing today?
Hey.
So hopefully he's having a great Wednesday. We got a lot of things to get into tonight. But before we jump into all that, I'm going to make my way around the horn here real quick. So you got Wreaths Across America there. You guys can scan that QR code, during the holiday season. It's a great way to memorialize the veterans out there. You can scan that. They do have a fundraiser going on now. So go ahead and give that a scan for a little $10, $15. You can donate a wreath. Also, you can personalize the wreath if you want. A lot of people don't know that you're able to do that. And so for a little bit of extra money, if you got a loved one, a friend, or a family member that you want to memorialize during the holiday season, you can do that. Along with that, Wreaths Across America Radio replays my podcast, mine and Lynn's podcast, at Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. Super easy to find. Just download the iTunes app, the iHeartRadio app, the iTunes app, and the Audacy app. And search for Wreaths Across America, not only for this great podcast, but all the great podcasts they have on their program. I'm wearing the 10th Mountain Whiskey shirt tonight. And so you got the, we'll throw out the website up there. Let me open up my chat here. I'm a little behind the ball. Okay, we'll throw that website up there. Go ahead and check them out. 10th Mountain's got really great whiskey and bourbon. I talk about them all the time. Holiday season's coming up. And so, hey, probably not going to get your shipment by Halloween because it's in a couple of days, but you can get it by Thanksgiving. So go ahead and throw that in there, and we're going to send you a QR code so you can save a little bit of money. But their bourbon and their cordial is quite awesome. As you saw in the video before the program started, you got Veterans Mortgages powered by Canopy Mortgage. PAL just lowered interest rates today. And so they
Oh,
lowered it
yeah.
by a quarter. Yep. And so if you're looking to refinance your house, maybe to refinance it, maybe you need to get a little extra money because the government shut down to help pay some of your bills while that's going on. Or maybe you just have questions about your mortgage, or maybe you haven't looked into using your VA mortgage yet and you need to. Scan that QR code, give them a call, reach out to them. They'll be more than happy to help you out. And you know what? Hey, I know a lot of things are going on, but maybe in Hawaii, maybe you just can't find that place. You just PCS there. And maybe getting ready to go there. Who knows? But hey, you can scan that QR code to PCS to Paradise. They'd be more than happy for you to find your dream home there in Hawaii. They did help out a couple of friends of mine here that PCS out there. So hey, give them a quick call, give them a look, see, and say hey. They'll be able to help you find. And you know what? If you got to spend a little bit extra money to get that place close to the beach, go right ahead. It's only there for 3 years. But hey, Len, how you doing today? How you holding up with the holdout? And I know you had a lot of fun with Chris last week. It was great to have him come on the show as a special guest. It's always fun to have him on. That I tell you what, he's got a lot of things going on in his life.
Yeah, he had so much going on in his life, but it was a lot of fun having him over. So, we hung out just for a little bit, and then afterwards he had to get going because he's like seeing friends and stuff here in town. But it is day 29 of this government shutdown. So we just been, so far I missed a whole paycheck and a half. So thankfully Navy Federal has that program that they're giving us. As long as we miss a paycheck, they'll like try to reimburse or give us our like advance. And then whenever we go back in is when we'll pay that back. So
that's a 0% interest loan, right?
It's 0% interest loan, and it's supposedly not supposed to hit like your credit report. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm fine. So I'm good to go. But yeah,
but you know what? If any listeners out there, if you're struggling, hey, please look into them. I know USA is doing it also, along with Navy Federal. It's a 0% interest loan. They don't hit your credit report, as far as I understand. And give it a look, see. But once you do go back to work, once you do get paid, you do have to pay that loan back.
There's like a whole list of different like union or credit unions that are doing it.
I think Penn Fed does it too.
Yeah, there's a lot of and even locally, like local places like food pantries, and people are doing food drives, for like military and like for all the federal employees who aren't getting paid. So there is a little bit of support out there in the community. You just got to look for it. But yeah, I'm just like waiting, to go back to work. I know that there's a bunch of like air traffic controllers that are not getting paid also, and so it's affecting every like small little part of the government. So I'm just excited for it to be done and over with and get back to work and get back to regular schedule. Because 29 days,
or even people that are with the military over it, the arguments are getting quite stupid on it. But
I'm not even like following the arguments at this point. It's just like, come on, let's like, come to an agreement, a resolution.
It all boils down to wanting to give health care to illegal aliens. So, it was a silly argument to begin with. It was they passed a clean resolution September 15th to keep the government funded at the levels that Biden had them funded at, that all the Democrats voted to before. So, but I think it's going to backfire them, and I think you're seeing that in elections going on now, where Republicans are pulling ahead in Democratic areas. So I think and if they go to 61 days, the administration can fire all the non-essential employees, and there's nothing the union can do about it.
Well, I think there is a
not that they will. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Yeah, they said it's a possibility, but there's a judge that has blocked all the rifts or firing so far, just until the government reopens. But there's other things that are also being affected, like SNAP benefits. Those are food stamps, so those are going to expire on the 1st. So that's going to affect so many families, needy
Yeah.
families in this country. And then, there's all these little different parts of the government that people don't realize that is being affected.
Yeah.
So,
And the reason we're talking about that is all this has effect both on your mental health, maybe not affects you
mhm.
directly, but it could be affecting family or friends. And so, hey, if you can help out some, hey, be sure and try to help out, maybe donate some stuff to food bank. Just like everything you see, the SNAP program, we know there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse that goes on with that. I know that. I've seen it firsthand. But there's a lot of people that really need that, and there's a lot of people out there that really depend on that. And so, don't judge everybody by the same book, by the same cover. Yes, there's always fraud, waste, and abuse out there, but that doesn't mean there's not people out there that necessarily and really need that, and really treat the program like it's supposed to be ran and do it properly. And so, let's just keep that in mind as we move forward, and keep everybody in our thoughts and prayers, because it is important that we get this back open and get the government back to running. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, it's a silly, stupid argument.
But you know what's
Um,
gonna? But okay, so just to change the subject, this weekend's gonna be a fun weekend because it's
it's
Halloween, so
Halloween, yeah.
we have that to look forward to.
That's right. I
Um,
got my older brother and younger
mhm.
sister. They just left today to fly out here, so they'll actually be here tomorrow afternoon. Fingers crossed they don't run into delays flying, but so far so good. They just left Springfield, Missouri. They're flying to Dallas Fort Worth right now, and then from there they'll go to London Heathrow, and then down here to Naples tomorrow afternoon. So
Nice.
fingers
Now,
crossed they
do
have a
they
safe
do
flight.
Halloween in Italy?
They do, not quite like the States, but they do a little bit of it. Yes, they don't do trick or treating. They have like
Mm-hmm.
little parties, family parties, and things like that. Now we're doing a potluck here on base for our quad, our housing quad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to cook some bolognese, and then I got some candy to hand out and some other stuff. So it'll be fun. Lloyd enjoys it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about like normally every year what I do is something different. So I don't know if Lloyd ever played with these little fidget toys. They were like puppets, but
Yeah.
Sophia
Yeah.
had
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
she had so many of them.
Oh yeah. The
So
fidget
like
spinner, the little
there's so many
bubble
of these
wrap things
little
that you
little
pop them.
gadget
Yeah.
toys, right? So I had like 3 Tupperware boxes of them. So one year I gave those out for Halloween. I
Oh,
gave
nice.
out the toys and candies, and then for the adults I always give out Jello shots.
Oh,
So
there you
I'm
go.
like, yeah, I'm always that house. Like, oh, let's go to that house. They have Jello shots, and then I also have like different things like bags of chips or like little Debbie snacks. So instead
Yeah.
of like candy, it's something. Well, I have the mini candies, and then I have all that. So, and our neighborhood's not even that like big, so I'm able to do that.
Yeah, when we went to Virginia at our house, of course, I always decorated for Halloween, had a thing. We had just a table outside, and I had little bags of candy set up because we're out trick or treating, so we didn't want to be stuck at the
Yeah.
house and going. And then on my stereo system, I'd be playing Halloween music, that you could hear outside and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. But I didn't bring all my decorations out here. We live in a small apartment, so. But
Yeah.
tomorrow we're going to do some pumpkin carving. I got 4 pumpkins. So Lloyd and 3 of his friends are going to come over to the house, and we're going to do some pumpkin carving tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of fun. I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, my daughter's well, she's about to be 13, so her and her little friends want to go out and do their own trick or
Oh
treat.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah,
have to like escort her anymore.
yeah, yeah. That's nice.
Mhm.
Although I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to take
Mhm.
the kids around, and I used to always dress up as a pirate during Halloween or whatever. So it was a lot of fun, and I always enjoyed that. But as your kids get older, they don't want to leave. They don't want to go with their parents anymore. They just want to go out and do it by themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's
And then
fine.
here in Jacksonville in Florida, it's always Halloween weekend. It's the big Georgia Florida game, the Gators versus the Bulldogs.
Oh yeah,
And then they call it the largest cocktail party in the world because of all the tailgating out in the parking area in the parking lot. So it should be like a really fun, busy weekend here.
nice. Yeah, it's always a good time. Like I said, we have the potluck here, and all the neighbors come out. And we all get around and visit and have a lot of fun. Have adult drinks too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Of course, I got my 10th mountain. I
Yeah,
brought some
there you
back with me, so I'll have a little bit of that out there. I don't share it a whole lot, but I'll have a little bit for the guys and the gals that want to sneak off to the side of the table and try a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. But
But,
I did a little high noon here.
Oh, there you go. I've never tried that. I'll have to try that next time I go. I'll have to see if they got that at the NEX. I never looked. I'll have to look at things. But there's a lot of interesting things going on in the news today or this week. The biggest thing is, if you haven't heard about the 3I Atlas, that is the asteroid / maybe spaceship, maybe alien spaceship that's going to do a very close flyby Earth next couple of days. Just kind of give you an idea, it's 20 kilometers long, and it's flying about 245,000 kilometers per second, per hour, sorry. And it's going to be the closest object I think it came from the Sagittarius constellation that came out of the interstellar. Correct me if I'm wrong about the listening, but it's going to fly the closest to the Earth of anything like that. And so I don't know if the pictures you see out there on TikTok or Instagram are true or not, but it kind of looks like an alien ship. It has lights on it. And so when you read about it, it's kind of interesting. So the next couple of days may be kind of interesting. So, hey, get out there and enjoy Halloween. Never know. Might have some aliens drop in and say hi to you.
I never even heard about that. What is it called?
3I Atlas.
3I Atlas. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
3I Atlas. You won't see interstellar comet. Or that's what it says. 3I Atlas. Or if you have one of those scopes.
High power telescope. Yeah. It's not gonna fly. It is interesting to see all the buzz about it, though.
Mm-hmm. Another thing in the news is thoughts and prayers to the people being affected by Hurricane Melissa.
Oh, yes.
Out in the Caribbean. I know, they got hit with the strongest hurricane in Jamaica with a Category 5, and so I know I have some friends that have family out there. So hopefully everybody's safe and sound, but they have yet to assess all the damage and all that being done.
Yeah, that was a massive hurricane.
Going through.
I mean, at one time the wind speed was 245 miles an hour. It was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But hey, here we go. So for the last couple of days, sitting in my apartment about 3 days ago, all of a sudden, earthquake. First time I felt an earthquake in my apartment in Italy. Yes.
Really?
And then the next day, a couple hours later, earthquake. And then the other day, there was actually an earthquake inside of Mount Vesuvius, which isn't too unusual. Of course, I see Vesuvius from my back patio. But my friend Pepe said, this is the earthquake season. I didn't realize there was a season for earthquakes, but apparently in Italy there is. And so this is normal to have kind of rattling going on.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know there was an earthquake season.
Yeah, I didn't either, but that's what he calls it. He says, well, they just normally happen around this time of the year, so they call it a season. I don't know. But it was a 3.46 and a 4 point something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully it wasn't devastating or anything.
No.
I remember living in California or even visiting California, feeling some of the earthquakes sometimes from aftershocks from bigger earthquakes out there. There's one time, I think it was a 4 point on the Richter scale. I was on the freeway and all the cars were just doing this, veering to the side. I'm like,
oh, wow,
happening?
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was on the I-8, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. It's scary.
I remember that big earthquake they had back in the 80s during the World Series where the bridges collapsed and everything on top of it, the highway collapsed. I remember that. I was actually watching the World Series. Yeah.
I was a toddler.
I have no idea how old I was. Maybe 19 at the time? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've had quite the week. I had to have a root canal redone on Monday, and then today I was back at the dentist. But everything's fine now. Everything's going okay. So, sometimes, this well as I do, Lynn, right? The Navy's got pretty good dental care. I will give them that. Coming from the Army and going to the Navy dentist, they're a lot better.
Really?
And, yeah. And I've had the same 8 cavities in my mouth since I joined the military back in 1987, right? And they've been filled and refilled and whatever. But, man, the Navy's fixing a lot of stuff that the Army messed up 10 years ago. So I don't know what Chris is typing.
Chris says, F the Navy dental. Those asshats tried to kill me when I was active duty. Navy dental gave me a gold tooth. They gave Yeah, they gave me an option for the caps. They're you could get porcelain, you could get something else, and then gold. And I was like, give me the gold tooth.
Yeah, I got them back in. Yeah. And actually, it was kind of interesting because that's the one that had to do the root canal on. He drilled through the gold cap.
Mm-hmm.
to redo the root canal, which is very interesting. So, Chris, you're gonna have to get on here and tell us that story about how you almost died by the Navy dental. Now that you threw it out there, if you want to talk about it. But
I know when I was on the ship though, we had to go like every 6 months. So we had our own dental on the ship, and then we go every 6 months to get checked up. And then if they couldn't do like the big work or surgery, then if you were in port in town, then you could go off the ship. But everything was on the ship, and I never had a bad experience. Chris says, "Wow."
Yeah, I just had the one tooth they wind up pulling. The Army put, I don't know, they filled it like 3 different times. They kept drilling it out and re-putting it in. The last time that the second to last time they did it, he didn't get it filled all the way. I guess he was in a rush or whatever. Of course, you don't know that. And the dentist at Fort Belvoir fixed it, but then it just had too much done to it, and it just, cracked while I was out here. And they couldn't fix it, and they had to pull it. But I was dealing with an infection on that side of my mouth and for quite a while and didn't realize it. So since I've had all this done and fixed, my sinuses are clearing up. Because, sometimes your teeth can grow into your nerves and into your sinus cavity. I didn't realize that. And so that could have been causing a lot of my sinus problems. So,
well, if you don't fix your dental health, like it could affect the rest of your body.
Yeah.
So it's really important. I know I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out in boot camp. All 4 of them. So I don't even remember like 3 days worth of boot camp.
Yeah.
I was just sick in quarters the whole time.
Whew. That's rough. I had my top ones pulled. I remember the dentist actually sitting in the chair on my lap trying to pull the teeth out of my top ones. But my bottom ones were impacted, so they just made a small incision and they just popped right out. But Junior had all 4 of his taken out at once. He did just fine. I don't know about Lloyd yet. Of course, he's too young for that, so we'll see. But hey, if you guys got any stories out there, want to say anything, feel free to jump in. One thing I want to talk about, Len, real quick, and if you read my little blurb, is something that I think a lot of men, especially when they get older, they struggle with is body dysphoria, right? And I kind of have that. I've made it to it before on my podcast, but so I went to the doctor and got on the scale. I don't ever weigh myself. To me, I just find it depressing, but I weighed over 200 pounds. So I want to drop back down to 185 because that's just where I feel more comfortable at. But I started doing this 1 meal a day diet. Have you heard about that?
Well, I didn't think it was a diet. For me, that was always like a thing.
Yeah,
Like
right.
eating 3 square meals a day, it just seems excessive, like a lot.
It is, yes.
So especially if you have like those big meals, I mean, the calorie intake should only probably be like 1,200 calories a day.
Oh yeah.
Calories
Well, and
a
I
day.
used to fast every day, but I used to only eat 2 meals a day. But my first meal was usually at 12 or 1 o'clock, and it usually was steak and eggs, really protein.
Yeah.
And then I would have
Definitely
dinner.
the protein.
But my biggest mistake I was making was having drinks at night. And when I would have a drink at night, I would snack. And I think that's what was putting the weight on me. It wasn't what I was eating. And so what I've done is just quit snacking. And I started this about a week ago. So I haven't dropped a lot of weight, about 5 pounds. But I've lost a lot of weight in my face. And I've almost completely lost my gut in 5 days. And it's just not the pounds coming off. The inches are just flying off.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Especially like the midnight snacks.
Yes.
I think like when you get older, you crave food at night. And it's like you got to have that cutoff. Like at a certain time, don't eat,
And so now I've been kind of like testing it. So, but it was having snacks with drinks. And so if I just have a drink and I don't have chips or bread or snack with it, no change in my weight. But if I have a drink and I have snacks with it, my weight will go up by a pound, or so. And so I've just been kind of watching that. But that's kind of important because, for me, it weighs on your mental health, right? And I work out a lot, but there's some things as you get older, you can't work off, right? And the hardest thing for men to get rid of is belly fat. And, and so you have to do a combination of things that work good for you.
For the belly fat, a lot of it is also, you got to think about the visceral fat. So visceral fat is the fat that's around your organs that you need.
Yeah.
And so it's all about diet, really. So it's like 90% diet and then 10% like exercise or what you do.
Yeah. It's
So
all about finding what works good for your body, right? And this is so important. And as a fitness trainer, both in the army, both in civilian life, that's something people don't realize is they see all these fad diets out there, and you have to find out what works good for you. You have to really know how food affects your body, how exercise affects your body, how alcohol affects your body, how your mental health affects your body, right?
definitely.
Because if
Yep.
you're stressed and I know this for women a lot, if they get really stressed, their body wants to hold on to weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get bloated a lot of times when I'm stressed
Mhm.
out, and migraines. Like it's terrible,
Yeah.
but everything in moderation, right? So like if
Yeah.
you enjoy a little bit of snacks, maybe just a little bit, or maybe just
Yeah.
have 3 chips instead of a whole bag.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everything in moderation, per usual. But and then for me, my body, I cannot do a lot of sweets. I cannot do a lot of carbs.
Mm.
And then so I know that that'll make me bloated or make me feel sick. Now
Yeah.
lately, now that I've been older, I love spicy food. Okay, I grew up
Oh, I
eating
know.
spicy food, Mexican food, right, from
Yeah.
Southern California, hot sauce on everything. I have found out that I've been starting to get
Mm.
heartburn with spicy food, and then even tomato sauce from the pizza gave me heartburn the other day. So just
So,
changing the diet
couple
as
of
you get
things,
older.
couple of things you can do to help that. You can drink lemon water in the morning. It helps raise your
Mhm.
acidic level in your stomach. And the biggest mistake we make as American eaters is we always want to drink water when you're eating. And the problem with drinking too much water when you eat, it reduces your stomach acid, which in turn takes longer for your body to digest the food, which can lead to
Mhm.
heartburn and other issues. So one thing I've trained
I didn't
is
know that.
now I may just take a little sips of water, but I don't drink water before 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after I eat, unless I have to take a sip. Just depends what it. But I drink very little, and I've noticed I've had that's kind of less. But that's at Barbara O'Neill when she talks about the natural healing and stuff. And of course, I always do the lemon water in the morning. That helps
Mhm.
restore your acidic level in your stomach.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah,
That sounds like something I should start doing or trying
yeah.
to do. But also,
And
I feel
then
like the lemon water kind of helps you flush out your system as well.
it does. Yeah, it has lots of benefits to it. A couple things. It helps obviously heal your liver. Helps regenerate your liver. Helps with your stomach acids. Helps boost your immunity. One thing I do is if I'm in pain, I eat the lemon seeds. You have to chew them. They have the same properties as ibuprofen,
Oh
and they're
wow.
really good for pain management. Actually,
Mhm.
I eat 6 lemon seeds. Now you have to put them in water, and if they float, they're no good. So they have to be the ones that sink. Make sure that they're organic lemons. Make sure they don't have anything on the outside, chemicals, anything sprayed on them. Of course, here in Italy, it's easy to find lemons.
Yeah.
They grow everywhere. But something I may try tonight, I've never tried before. We are talking about it before the show. Is I found this new gin. I don't know if you guys see that right there, and it's made with red grapefruit.
It sounds so good. I love grapefruit. A lot of
I do.
people
I
don't like
love
it. I
red
love
grapefruit's good
grapefruit.
for you too. Red grapefruit's great for you.
Mhm.
And so I may try a little bit of that tonight. We'll see after I get done with my run. But like I said earlier on, my older brother and younger sister's flying in. Super excited. It's their first trip to Italy, so we're going to be in Rome this weekend. And then we'll come back, and then we'll go down to Puglia region over Veterans Day weekend. So it'll be a lot of fun. Of course, my older brother is a veteran, and then of course my sister's husband, Aaron. He's also a retired fireman and a veteran of the Air Force. But at one time, we all were on the same National Guard unit together.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. My brother joined first. Of
Mhm.
course, I'm the younger brother. He's 4 years older. And of course, I had to beat all of his records in wrestling. And I beat
So
all of his records but one. And then, of course, he joined the military. And of course, I joined the military. And we joined the same MOS. But then he went to ROTC and became, get lost in the woods lieutenant. And I became a warrant officer. So,
so when you say you guys were all part of the same unit, was it at the same time or like at different
no, at
times?
the same time.
Oh,
Within a
okay.
couple of years apart, but we were on the same unit for years. We're in the same unit for a long time. There was one point in our guard unit that uh, me and my brother were both E5s in the same section.
So, okay, so you were both E5, so it wasn't really fraternizing
No,
with
no, yeah,
other, you know what I mean? But that's really cool because I was on the same ship as my dad, but like obviously not at the same time. He was on the Nimitz like in the from 89 to 92, something like that. And then I was on the Nimitz, and then my brother-in-law was on the Nimitz, but he was on there. He wasn't my brother-in-law yet. Like, we were just friends. So we were all on there. And then I think my uncle was on the Nimitz too. But like all different times.
That's kind of cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Have your whole family have a family history like that.
And then whenever I go out in town, I always like talk to people, and like somehow, some way, I find someone who's connected to the Nimitz.
Yeah, that's interesting. But it's retired, right? Or is it still out there? I don't know.
Oh no, it's still out there. It's
is it okay?
I don't.
Is it an aircraft carrier?
It's an aircraft carrier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Nimitz class aircraft carrier. I think it's going to be retired, decommissioned soon. Yeah, I'm gonna be on that. Like, I'm gonna be that old where one of my ships is decommed. You know.
Well, welcome to the club.
I know.
You're only as old as you feel, right?
Because his first ship is the Midway, which is a museum now.
Yeah.
Out in San Diego, so.
Yeah, it is kind of sad though when you go to a museum and you see aircraft that you used to work on.
Mm-hmm. I know, right?
And
matter of fact, we just had the speaking of aircraft, we had the Sea and Air Show this past weekend here in Jacksonville, but the Blue Angels couldn't come because of the government shutdown, so that kind of sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's always impressive to watch the Blue Angels when they fly. It really is.
I love them. I never get tired of them.
No. It's always, it's just always impressive that, one thing that was always amazing when I was a younger guy, of course I was aviation, was when you flew with the old Vietnam veterans, right? And of course, when I first joined, we still had the Huey helicopters. Mm-hmm. But when we used to go to AT and these guys would fly nap of the earth in these Hueys, man, it was just amazing. How well these guys could fly these Huey helicopters and just skimming the tree line and going across and think, man, and he's reliving days and he's in Vietnam doing that, and then
just seeing the sheer power, like the sheer air power that we have. It's amazing.
It is. What's scary though, and I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, was this drone technology and drone warfare is going to completely change the battlefield because. Why do you need a $33 billion jet, when you can send over 10,000 drones?
You can just remote control the drone over there. Yeah. I mean, I remember we were using that back when I was in, so I can just imagine the technology that they have today.
Oh, yeah. When you look at the Ukraine-Russian war, how the drones have been used in that war, and I think it's just going to change. Well, we better change the battlefield, right? We always got to stay ahead of stuff. But hey, with that, before we wrap up, we got about 13 more minutes. Should we do some spill the tea?
Yes, we should.
Let me put on the old, hey, I'm getting old readers.
The reader glasses.
Yeah. All right. Okay, there we go. My glasses, my hearing aids makes there we go. Now my glasses are straight. Okay, now I don't look like I'm drunk. Okay. Who do you look more like, your mom or your dad? I look just like my dad. If you saw a picture of my dad, we look exactly the same.
Oh, gosh. There's some days.
Except for I'm a lot taller. My dad was
There's
short.
some days where I look like my mom, and then some days I look like my dad. I think I mostly look like my dad. He's dark skinned. I'm dark skinned. We have the same eyes, and then the nose and stuff. But I remember growing up, and as a little girl, you never want to hear that you look like a man.
Right.
So
and you don't look nothing like a man, Lynn.
Yeah. So my daughter, she would be the same way. She's like, why do people keep saying I look like dad? I'm not a boy.
That's funny.
And but I think I would say I'd probably look more like my dad, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Who is the messiest person you know?
Ooh. Let me just make sure she doesn't hear me, but my sister.
As she comes running into the room.
But, okay, so there's two different kinds of messy, right?
Yeah.
So then there's like cleanliness, and then there's like messy, like out there.
Messy,
like,
clutter,
rumors.
messy.
No. Yeah, clutter messy, like cleanliness. And then there's messy where you're out there spreading rumors and starting gossip, and you're just out there being messy in the street. So
we're going to do messy like house messy or car messy or something like that. Which drives you more crazy, a messy house or a messy car, or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Everything
Me
needs
too.
to because like I feel like if it's not straightened up or cleaned, then like you're just mental clarity. It's like it's not. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it doesn't
Well, there's been
feel
studies
right.
like that if you have a very cluttered room or bedroom, you don't
Mm-hmm.
really get good rest because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggle to keep Lloyd's room, and he helps, but to
Yeah.
keep it uncluttered. And once I got uncluttered, he started sleeping so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably say out of my family, the messiest person was my older sister, Tammy. She just didn't really, and it's funny, she cleaned houses for a living, but she didn't want to clean her own house. But it wasn't like dirty mess, it was just messy. Like things aren't organized like I would organize
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And probably the second would be my oldest brother, the one that's flying in. He never really cleaned his
I'm
house. So
telling.
yeah, you can tell him. He may be on the
I'm
podcast
gonna
next
be
week.
messy and
So
tell on you.
that's right. Tell on me. Let's see here. Who's the nicest person you know?
I would like to say me, but I would probably say my mother-in-law. She's one
Huh?
of the nicest, sweetest human beings on this planet. She's just so kind and thoughtful in everything she does. And then, she wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah.
And she's always quoting the Bible.
Yeah. Nice. I know of a lot of really nice people that do a lot of things, but there was a friend of mine. She was a licensed clinical social worker, and this this woman, would literally help anybody at any time with anything, to include myself. Sometimes to the detriment of her own health, but she was always so nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't really matter. And so I would say that she was probably one of the nicest persons that I know.
Sometimes to me, like, nice people kind of make me uncomfortable. Right, because I'm so used to like people being salty, sarcastic, a
Yeah.
bit bitter, and then so like I feel like wow, I might just be like maybe just off because
Yeah.
like when someone is too nice to me, I'm like okay, this is kind of suspect. Like, why are you being so nice?
Yeah. What's
what
going
I
on?
mean? Yeah, what is happening here? So
Let me see here. I'm going to switch gears something. What did you make? Oh, here we go. This is for cooking. Well, let's do this other one first. What would be your perfect Saturday night? Or your perfect Saturday, not Saturday night.
my weekends are all over the place. It just depends on my mood. Do I want to go
Yeah.
out and party? Do I want to stay home? Do I want to
Yeah.
do a pool party? Do I want to, And I would think maybe the perfect Saturday night would be a little mixture of being at home with the family, with the kids, and then
Yeah.
also having that adult time as well.
Yeah.
So just a like perfect mix, just as long as I'm around people that I care about and that
Yeah.
care for me.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way.
Mhm.
I like to go out and party and do things, but I also like being home or having drinks with friends and just hanging out. And so, yeah,
I like
that's
partying
probably a
at
good
home.
Saturday.
So like
You like what?
so this last weekend Friday, we just had an impromptu like get together. A bunch of my friends just came to the house and we just hung out, partied, caught
That's
up,
so much fun.
catch up, and then we did the same thing on Sunday. Sunday fun day. Everybody came over, did a little pool party. And so we're in Florida, so it's still nice outside. It's not that
Yeah.
cold yet.
Well, you guys are in
So-
your nice weather now, from what I hear.
Yeah. So just have people over. People bring over drinks and food, something to share. So
That's-
I
and
think
that's
I
always a great
describe
time.
This weekend as the perfect weekend.
One thing I'm going to do this year, and it's going to be on Monday, November 24th, is I'm going to cook Thanksgiving dinner for my friend Pepe and Claudio and his whole family. They've never had a traditional, obviously, American Thanksgiving dinner. Why would they?
Nice.
So I'm going to cook a traditional everything. I'm going to cook it all. Turkey, ham, stuffing. Hey, Brian, thanks for being tardy. We know you're tardy, but you're present, but go stand in the corner for being late. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that. Of course, I think Claudio said his wife doesn't get off till like 8:00 at night from work, and
Oh,
so they
wow.
won't be here till 9 p.m.
Mhm.
But that's okay. Lloyd just won't go to school the next day, and I think it'd just be a fun experience to experience that with him. Okay, the last one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you had to move to any country to continue eating your favorite food, where would it be?
Oh my gosh, my favorite food is Mexican food. So it would be Mexico. I would love to live there. I remember any part of Mexico too. Great food. But I really fell in love with the Yucatan Peninsula. So that's like Cancun, Playa del Carmen and Tulum area. I love that area. And then they have like these cenotes where you can jump in the water and
I remember that.
And then they have the pyramids,
Yeah.
Like
a lot of people don't realize about the pyramids down there.
Yeah, the Mayan culture down there, wonderful. The food, just so fresh. So it's either going to be Mexico or it's going to be Philippines. I love Philippines too. So,
well, mine's going to be right here where I'm at, Italy. I love Italy. I've enjoyed it here. I enjoyed the food, and probably the second would probably be Greece. My family's from Tripoli, Greece, so it would be there. Would probably be my two favorite places because it's two food that I cook the most. But hey, you know what? The podcast is a little bit different today, but I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go around the horn here. Len, you want to do it now?
I'm going to go close out real quick and talk about...
You're going to close out now? Okay.
All right, ahead. Guys. So if you haven't checked out the website, www.irreverentwarriors.com, we have a couple hikes coming up. So we have Rhode Island. That's this weekend. So if you're in Rhode Island area, come out. That is... on the 1st, and then starting on the 1st for Veterans Day, we're going to do a virtual 5K, all locations. You can sign up online, and then I think there's like a medal. You get a medal in the mail. And then we got Huntington Beach, California. So if you're in the West Coast, come out to Huntington Beach, California on November 8th. And then Cabo Retreat, we were just talking about Mexico, is coming up for November 12th. So check that out on there. If you haven't checked out our website for Veteran Trash Talk, go on www.VeteranTrashTalk.com. On there, you can find all of our merch and all of our shirts and all of our podcasts.
That's right. And they got the show coming up this Saturday. Oh, there you go. This
Club DD214. Scan that QR code. Get it for $25. Christmas season is coming up. The holidays are coming up. The Marine Corps birthday is coming up. That's a popular shirt. So you got that crayon shirt right there. Scan that QR code. Get you a shirt.
That's right. And if you can't scan the QR code, if you're listening to the radio show, just go to VeteranTrashTalk.com and you'll be able to find all the T-shirts out there and everything else that we talked about. Early on in the show when we started, I talked about Wreaths Across America, and it's a great way to have to memorialize the veterans out there during the holiday season. And so you can scan that QR code, and for as little as $10, $15, you can place a wreath on there. You can do it anonymously. You can also do it for a family member or somebody. Do it by name if you want. And so we're super proud to do that. Do have a fundraiser going on now. So if you can't donate a little bit of whatever you can donate, please try to donate. I know things are tough for a lot of people out there. Early on, we talked about 10th Mountain Whiskey. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Threw it on. It's a great whiskey, great bourbon. Got a lot of holiday season coming up. And so, hey, give them a look-see. They got the cordial they got is just hard to explain with the vanilla and sage and stuff. It's really, really good. But, hey, give them a shot. But you know what? More importantly, they're finally starting to lower interest rates. And so if you're looking at refinancing your house, you're looking at buying a house, you're looking at remodeling, hey, scan that QR code for Veterans Mortgage powered by Canopy Mortgage. They'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have, take a look at your loan. But, hey, let's do that. If you get a little higher interest rate, let's say you bought the house during the last administration when the interest rates are high. If you drop 2% interest rates, it can save you $1,000 a month, depending on what you pay for your house. So it can save you a lot of money over the life of your loan. So, hey, scan that, get that thing, look, see, and let them help you out. But, you got PCS to Paradise there. Maybe not moving yet, but, the PCS season's coming up. It'll be here before you know it. And so maybe you want to start looking at houses now. Maybe you got an idea from the detailer where you may be going. And if you're going to Hawaii, scan that QR code, give them a talk, and start looking for a house now. And gives them more time to find that dream home that you're going to look forward to. But, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody has a fun Halloween. Thoughts and prayers to everybody out there in the
Caribbean,
Jamaica with the hurricane and everything. And, of course, everybody out there who's dealing with their government shutdown. Hopefully that'll end soon and the lives can get back to normal. But with that, like I always say, we are brothers and sisters keepers. So let's keep a lookout for each other. And next week, I may be doing the podcast from China. We'll see. I haven't solidified that yet. And I'll get my brother and sister to come on the show. And so that'll be a lot of fun if I can do that there. But, hey, everybody take care. Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. Have a great Halloween. Take care. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.